Tom, good to meet you. You made your Hull FC debut against Warrington Wolves, and here you are on the cusp of doing so again on your second debut. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's a strange one, obviously, how things turn out, but no, really excited, like you say, to play Warrington on my first game both times is a strange story, but no, one really looking forward to. It's going to be a tough game, but looking forward to getting back out there.
What do you remember of your first debut as an 18-year-old back in 2008?
Oh, not a lot. Obviously, I came on off the bench in under centre, and yeah, to be honest, don't remember too much about it. It was too long ago now, but a lot's happened since then. But no, the start of what's been a long and pretty successful career so far.
I mean, we could talk about how much you've grown as a player. There will have been obvious improvement, but how much do you feel you've grown as a person perhaps since then?
Yeah, obviously, coming through at 17, the you've no experience. You just you're raw. You're just physically ready, I suppose, and need to do a job for the team. And then throughout the years, you start playing. You get that experience. You get that knowledge of the game and what it's all about and what your job is, what everybody else's job is. So now I found myself on the other side of that, being able to guide and help the younger players, and hopefully I can do that coming here. And there's a young, good squad there, and hopefully I can bring out some of that into the first team.
Has it aged you a bit going into this game at all?
Uh,
Have you felt
I
your age a
felt,
bit?
yeah, I felt. I mean, it's something I've never thought about, and then to actually think, and it's been 11 years since I left, and it's just crazy how that time's flown. Still feel like the same person from way back then, but I just a bit more experienced, obviously. But no, it's mad how time flies, and things change and move on, but kind of stay the same in a way.
How surreal does it feel as well when you see your teammate Joe Cater talking about watching you as a player when he was just 10 years old as well?
Yeah, it's crazy, and I think especially in rugby league, as you get older, the the team around you starts becoming younger. I look out there and there's like 18-year-olds, and it's mental to think that I was once at that stage, and it feels like 2 minutes ago. But yeah, that is I heard that. I saw that interview, and yeah, it's a crazy world and a crazy story, I suppose, for Joe there to have watched me all them years ago, and now we're playing alongside each other.
Where do you feel your experience can help this team both now and hopefully in the future as part of this initial 18-month deal that you've signed?
Hopefully, just come in and steady the ship, do my job. Obviously, bring us out of yardage on those kick returns will be main priority. Getting us going forward, helping out the back five, which is the strength of my game. So bringing that and doing what I do in that area, but also, I suppose, just a bit of calm leadership on the field. We've been out in training. We've had a good week so far. So all that's coming out, and hopefully we can transfer that into the games moving forward.
You mentioned training, change of surroundings compared to your first spell. How have you found that side of things?
It's just like moving to a new club. Like you say, it's a new setup. Everything's different. I think there's only Danny Houghton still here since I left. So yeah, it was like 2 years ago when I moved to Leigh. It's just a completely new club. Obviously, there's a bit of history for myself there, but other than that, yeah, I've just seen it as a new club. Obviously, know a couple of the players from before and at Leeds and around the game, but yeah, I'm seeing it as a fresh start.
You had to watch on, of course, from the sidelines on Sunday as you returned from that calf injury. How encouraged were you by what you saw in terms of the performance despite the result?
Yeah, very positive. I think there's a lot of things we can take out of that standards wise. A lot of effort from the boys, which from now on moving forwards needs to be a minimum. The game is built on effort areas, and all the little segments of the game gets brought together, and then you can start putting on your plays and seeing your best players perform well. So no, it's a good foundation to build from. The hardest thing to put into players, I believe, is the effort, and if they're not willing to do the small things, then it's hard to go anywhere from that. So yeah, a good building block, and just looking forward, just wanting the same, just building each week in those areas, and we'll start to see some improvements.
What are those areas of improvement that will form those next building blocks over the next few weeks, do you feel?
I think a big one will be the confidence, and like I say, those effort areas. So the line speed, the chasing back breaks, trying to save tries, pushing with your friend, all those little areas that as a player you need to do, and that brings together the performance. So yeah, looking at just pushing all that, and hoping that'll then build a bit of confidence. We'll start to see some results. Quick play the balls, results within the game, I'm referring to there. So just getting on the back of positive actions within the game. So yeah, just starting to progress and keep building, like I say, and hopefully that confidence will come and the team will get on a roll.
You've spoken about your own debut for Hull FC against Warrington all the way back then. What do you make of Warrington Wolves at the moment in 2024?
Yeah, they're going well. We played them a couple of weeks ago at Lee, and it was a real tough game. I think we was in it until the last 10 minutes, but they just kept playing for the full 80 and ended up just pipping us. But no, they're a big team, obviously, with the middles there with Vaughan and Bullock and those, and then they've got obviously Walker out at 9, who's a threat running and kicking, and then the halves are creating problems in Williams and I would imagine Drinkwater this week. So yeah, we've got a big job on. They're a very good team at the minute, so expecting a tough game, but hopefully, like I say, those effort areas can put us in good stead and be competitive.
What would mark progress there for you in terms of a win? Would obviously be ideal, but in terms of a win and a performance away from home?
I think just a performance, being competitive for the full 80 minutes. We had a few soft tries at the weekend, where especially the Lum one where he came back inside and broke a few tackles. Just cutting out the errors and just getting a solid performance. Against the big teams, it's tough. They'll take the chances. They're going to do that. They're going to turn up week in, week out. So we know we need to be much improved. Cut out the errors. Or a little one as well from the weekend. It's hard enough playing the top teams, and to give them more ball than they're due makes it even harder.
Just away from the playing side of things, you've been talking in the press about the PhD that you're undertaking at the moment. Do you want to tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so I'm looking into junior women's rugby, and looking at the physical characteristics of them, seeing if they're prepared, moving up in ages, and making sure they're fully prepared for Super League. Physically, there's a lot around injuries at the minute, and hopefully we can just drive a bit of research into the junior setup to make sure it's running efficiently and doing the best for the girls to lead them into success.
Is that something that you'll work with here at the club at Hull FC as well with their women's side? Are you doing it more generally across the sport at the moment?
So yeah, that's just a game wide, looking from under 12s to under 18s currently. We're looking at coaches' opinions as well as the players. There's a couple of surveys going out that are live now. If you'd be kind enough to put the link out there to fill out, to try and just improve, the player pathway, getting both opinions on how it's currently run and potential ways of improving it, just to try and drive the standards for the girls, to, like I say, to set them up for every possible way to succeed.
From what you've seen so far as part of this PhD, what do you make of the pathway at this moment in time?
It's good, you know. It's always improving, and I think the publicity, getting the games on telly in Super League is great. I feel there's probably a long way to go in terms of facilities and staff, and probably funds as well, which will be always a big issue, I suppose, around junior setups. But no, it's going in the right direction. They've got some great people at the RFL driving things and supporting me on this. So yeah, it's all positive. I feel like the girls are getting a feel for where their route to success is and what it can be.
Just finally, where do you see this PhD integrating into your life post-playing? Where do you see your career heading on from this?
I think I'd love to get into teaching and lecturing around the sports science bit, and taking my experience in professional sport and giving it to, you know, the next group of sports scientists. Obviously, having had the education side of things, taking that and then giving those guys what it's really like in real life situations. So yeah, I'd love to do some of that eventually, and, you know, maybe stay around the game in some capacity, maybe around the S&C parts, or move into the women's side to see what I can offer there.
Tom, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Right, Tom. First spell at LFC was obviously phenomenal. Did some phenomenal things, 147 appearances, 90 tries. What's like your overriding memories from that first spell?
I just loved it. You know, I so grateful to get the opportunity to play that many games for this club. It's something that I look back on fondly. Obviously, within that period, I played at Wembley twice, albeit we lost, but, you know, it's still great memories and a great achievement by the club and for me personally. So yeah, just one of enjoyment and, I suppose, pride.
See, you was big on derby moments. There was a tackle on Peter Fox, and I mean, 18-year-old you running down the West Ham touchline. I mean, can you still picture those moments? Yeah,
and I think every derby since they've come out of on the clips over social media, so it's nice to watch those back, and hopefully recreate some more memories going forward. But no, it's been great. You know, the passion of the fans over here, especially in derbies, is amazing. I don't think the first time in my first stint I probably appreciated as much, you know, because I'd always been here and kind of thought that was the normal. But no, definitely some special memories, and ones that I probably took for granted at the time, but now I can relive and really appreciate them.
Well, seeing your first spell, your main partner was Kurt Keeman on the left edge. Since you left, though, you played a lot of right edges. Is there any preference for you on what side of the field you play?
No, not at all. Like you said, I played 6 years at Hull on the left, but then moved to right, and I think for the majority of the time at Leeds played on the right. I had I think a year on the left, but yeah, I'm easy. It's kind of the same job wherever you play. Just things get reversed.
And as for try scoring, obviously you spoke about working backfield, and obviously Hull are crying out for that in yardage right now from the back three, but in terms of try scoring, I'm guessing you've still got a lot of confidence that you've got a lot of things to add to this side. Yeah,
without a doubt. Obviously, scored a few last year at Lee and did well there. So, given the opportunity, yeah, I'm confident that you know I can finish tries. But that comes on the back of the team, really. Obviously, I just get given the ball and asked to put it down. But no, it's something I'm looking forward to, and hopefully got a few more tries to come.
What's it been like overall, like coming back to LFC? It's weird how rugby league works, and obviously you left the club 11 years ago, and now here you are, you're back.
Yeah, like I said before, it's I've just seen it as a completely new club. There's all the backroom staff, obviously the coaches. There's one player, Danny Houghton, left since he's still here. Sorry, since I left. So no, it's like 2 years ago when I went to Lee, a completely different club. I've moved here, a completely different club to what I knew, just with a bit more history there.
Obviously, fan reception, I'm guessing, has been good because it's no secret it was a crowd favourite back here in your first spell, so there's been lots of well wishes and things like that.
Yeah, they have. I came to the game obviously on Sunday and everyone wishing me well, so that was nice to hear and appreciated that. So yeah, just excited, to get back and start playing. It's been a couple of months now for me personally to play, so I'm just looking forward to getting back out there and doing what I do really.
Obviously, it's 18-month contract, so what are you hoping to do? And with Hull SC in the time that you've got it now, obviously it's no secret that it's been tough the last year and a half, but what are you hoping to achieve in the time that you're here now?
I want to see the club back at the top, competing, being competitive, and if I can, I suppose, lead to any of that and give my experience in order for us as a team to get back there, that I'd be happy with that. Being part of that building again was part of a draw for coming here as well to, like I say, bring the experience I've had over the last 10 years to try and build this club back to where it was when I left.